right. So tonight we're going to have part two of Claudette talking about Kindle. I just want to say thanks again, Claudette, for coming on. And I just want to let you know that we appreciate you coming on for part two. Um, for those that didn't get to see part one, I think it was very important that you see that. I think it was a good experience for us to hear about Kindle. Claudette did a great job with giving us an overview of Kendall as she was growing up. Of course, from the flyers, you can see that she had a VP shunt. She also has cerebral palsy. And then she has a condition with her eyes that pretty much so left her blind. She had a number of surgeries. And what Claudette left off with is telling us how Kendall going blind affected her. And we were going into which most people wanted to know, where is Kendall now? What is she doing? How is she functioning as an adult? And so tonight we're going to go with part two. Everyone requested this. They enjoyed your first interview, as did we.
Yes.
And so we want to give you an opportunity to tell us more about Kendall. Now, we left off with Kendall having problems in school and them basically sending her home and telling you they really couldn't have a place for her because she was very angry at the time. She was
Yes.
lashing out. She was doing things that they basically feared for her safety and other
Yeah.
safety. And so what we're going to do is allow you to pick it up from there, Claudette.
Okay. All right. Well, thank you guys for inviting me on your platform again. I appreciate the opportunity for part two to continue the discussion of my beautiful Kendi Wendy. That's what I call her, Kendi Wendy. And I just want to give a recap of where Kendall started and where she is today. So that's what I'm going to talk about this evening. Kendall is a twin A. She's the female to her twin brother. He's doing fine today. They're both 26 years old, and Kendall was born at 20 weeks. My son was born at 21 weeks. They are 8 days apart. I had a leak in my sac with Kendall, the sac that Kendall was in. She had a leak in her sac. So at 16 weeks, I dilated 3 centimeters and they put me in the hospital to try to keep the babies in, until they can come. Kendall came at, a couple of weeks later at 20 weeks. They took me back upstairs. And then the week later, my son was born. Yes, they are both miracle babies.
Absolutely.
She had several, challenges after her birth. My son had a couple of challenges. They were pretty severe, not as severe as Kendall's were, though. She's had several surgeries. I spoke of the VP shunt. The VP shunt has been revised one time at the age of 15, and she's 26 now. Praise God. Let's fast forward a little bit more. School. Kendall has always went to a regular school, a public school. She's always gone to public schools until 18, until about 18. They put her in a private school, but we'll talk about that a little bit later. She has always been in what's called contained classroom settings. I don't think I mentioned this, but in first grade, they tried to put her in general population. After 3 days, I said, no, this is not going to work. After 3 days, they put her back in the self-contained classroom setting. She threw all kinds of tantrums. She would not do anything they said. It was bad. It was a bad idea from the beginning. However, they would streamline her with general ed population kids at like in the lunchroom setting, PE, any specials. I don't know what they call them now.
Yeah, specials. They still call
Okay.
them specials.
They still call them specials. So she did great in those settings. but in academic settings, it was much more challenging for her. Um,
Do
so
you
that
think she
didn't
was
work.
intimidated? Do you think she was intimidated? It just
No, it just
wow.
didn't. It just didn't work out for her.
Okay.
She needed an intimate setting to keep her attention,
Okay.
and she needed to learn at a pace that she could adjust to,
Hmm.
which was best for her was the classroom setting, the contained classroom setting.
Mhm.
Hmm.
So and she did well in school. She did great up until, the vision issue, until she lost her vision. So let's fast forward a little bit more. We got her through infancy, we got her through toddlerhood. She had several challenges. I think the last time I spoke about the AFO braces, she
Hmm.
wore the AFO braces most of her life until
That's on her
she had.
legs. Those on her
Mhm,
legs.
that's
Okay.
for her legs. I'm sorry. I'm just assuming everybody knows what I'm talking about. And I guess because I'm doing the recap from the last time. So the
Okay.
AF, and I apologize because some of the viewers may not have watched part A, the first part. Um, she was braced at almost 2 years old, which is when she started to walk because of the CP. She was unable to walk unassisted until they put the AFO braces on her legs.
Okay.
And then she just, she's been running ever since.
Mm,
She took
okay.
off running then. Um, let's see, where else did I take you guys through? Um, I'll take you guys through middle school. Middle school was good for Kendall. She thrived in middle school. Uh she participated in all types of activities like Special Olympics. The school system afforded her at that time, in her younger years, afforded her the opportunity to um thrive and do all of the things that her siblings were doing.
Mm,
Is not too many things that she didn't experience that any of the other children in my community, any of the other children, that we had access to, it didn't stop her. She could do everything that everyone else was doing, but with assistance,
mhm, mhm,
with assistance. So the school system helped tremendously with that until high school, really until high school. That's when things really, really took a turn when she lost her vision. And I'll chat a little bit about that. So the vision loss came when she was about 16 and a half. Both of her retinas detached. And the retina is the lens in the back of the eye that allows you to actually, it's like a camera lens in the back of the eye, right?
mhm,
She still has light perception. If she's outside and the sun is out and it's bright, or if she's in a light room, she knows it's bright. She can't see objects though.
mhm,
She
mhm,
can't see objects. Um, and one of her retinas, both of her retinas detached, but one came down in strips. So she
mhm,
still had 40% visibility in one of her eyes. But it was like looking through the end of a glass bottle with Vaseline on it, is the way that the
mhm,
doctor explained it to me. Yes, she could see, but it was so heavily contrasted. If she would angle her head just the right way, she could see what was in front of her, right? That was with the
mhm,
40% still retina attached. She had several surgeries in that eye. Every 6 months, they went in that eye
mhm,
to try to uh, pull up the strips or to see what condition it was in. And every time, the scar tissue was just bringing down what was left of the
mhm.
retina in that eye until it was just no more visibility. And that went on, I want to say about a year and a half. That went on for a while. That because she didn't go she had no visibility. She was a little over 17. Maybe she wasn't quite 18. She wasn't quite 18 when before it completely went down, you
Now,
know.
Claudette, real quick, I want to ask this, and I know as you were talking, um, I wanted to ask, like, you know how when people go blind, and I know they've gone as far as to, um, like when people pass away, they have like transplants for eyes and stuff. Is that not something? And I don't know all. I don't know all of what they can take from someone that's passed away, but
Right.
that wasn't an option.
From what was explained to me from her retina specialist, no, she wasn't a candidate for
Mm,
that at the time. That's
okay.
what was conveyed to me. And this started when we were living in another state, actually. We were living in Raleigh, North Carolina. Well, in a city, a small town outside of Raleigh called Nightdale.
Mhm.
I don't know if you guys are familiar with it, but it was
I've
just
never heard.
across the Raleigh border.
Okay.
So that's her first surgery was in North Carolina. And that surgeon then referred us to the surgeon here, the retina specialist here. And then she was followed by him until maybe I told you I lose time, 4 or 5 years, maybe the last four or
Mhm.
5 years. He retired and he moved someplace else. So she sees his partner now.
Okay.
Um, so she's been to two different specialists that told me the same exact thing. She was not a candidate for that at that time.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Wow,
So
I know Claudette, but before you continue, like how long is the healing after she would have that surgery?
Mhm.
You know.
the healing didn't it wasn't very long. I would say
Okay.
she would be in discomfort maybe 2 or 3 days, maybe
Oh,
2 or 3 days after. Yeah, she did. This is another thing that I don't think a lot of people, unless you experience this condition, or have exposure to people that have CP. And I think I mentioned the last time, CP is sort of on a spectrum, if you will, like
Mhm.
autism is.
Mhm.
It can be very, very mild, and it
Mhm.
can it can it can go from like 1 to 10.
Mhm.
Kendall's was at like a 3 when she was born, and it progressively increased, right? Uh, over the years. So I would say if she was at a 3, she's probably at a 5 now, because we know how some people with CP, they're bed bound. It's
Mhm.
different levels to it, is what I'm trying to explain.
And you know,
Um,
Morgan has CP. I totally agree. When you said that the last time, I never even thought about it like that, but you're absolutely right. It's just like autism. It's such a big spectrum
it
that
is.
yeah, it's like
The range is broad.
yeah. And one
absolutely.
real quick, my mom asked. She said, "Can she be a candidate since she's gotten older? If so, would you try it?" I don't know if you're going to elaborate more on that as you're talking about the retinopathy.
I would try it if there were something available now that could give her some sight back. Listen to me. I didn't say all sight.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
Some sites.
Some sight back.
Absolutely.
Yeah, yeah.
Um, I would definitely sign her up for that.
Okay.
Uh, I'm being told. So if somebody out there knows something different than what I am being told, um, please share that information with me. I'm willing to investigate that. Now, what I will not do is have her be a guinea pig,
I
Right.
because
agree.
she's been
Absolutely.
through, she fights every day still now.
Mm-hmm.
Just to, you know, get out of the bed and have a decent day. She fights every day of her life. And
Mhm.
I won't have her be subjected to things um that is going to cause her more mental trauma than
Right.
she's already experienced.
Absolutely. I agree with
I
that.
won't subject her to that.
hmm Now,
You know
Mhm.
what
Claudette,
I
before
mean?
you go any further, for those that are joining us now, some may not know what CP is. I know that Crystal just put it in the chat, but can you just let our listeners know what exactly CP is.
Cerebral palsy is a condition. I'm going to give you I don't know the medical
I'm
terminology. I just
typing it in
know.
there, but go ahead and say what you're gonna say.
Okay.
Go
All right.
ahead.
Yeah, I don't think you could have just said what it was. I don't know if people knew that
Yeah.
CP was cerebral palsy.
Oh,
Okay.
cerebral
Mhm.
palsy,
Yeah.
cerebral. Yeah, that's what it means. We say
Okay.
CP for short. Um, it affects it affects the it affects the body in different ways. It affects your mobility. It can affect your speech. It affects your mental state, your mind, um, your intellectual abilities. Uh, it can
It's
affect
just
you in
like the
many ways.
spectrum. It's a wide range of different effects that they have on
Different
just different
effects.
people. Yeah. Yeah.
Correct.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Correct.
and as Claudette was saying, my oldest daughter is 24 and she has cerebral palsy. And
Ah,
as they get older, I get more concerned about her joints.
yes.
You get affected differently. So keeping her active, keeping her
Yes.
joints, so when you in part one, people didn't see it. When you was talking about that gait, when you was talking about
Oh,
how
the crouch gait. Yeah.
how she
Mhm.
walks,
Yes.
all those
Yes.
things. And a lot of there are those that have CP that are not mobile, and then there are
Yes.
those that are mobile, and it does affect their gait. I remember my daughter, I was just unaware of a lot of stuff, but I helped her with a lot of stuff.
Mhm.
But so you're absolutely right. Conditions can change through as they're getting older. um
Mhm.
all types of things. So you're helping us. Come on, Claudette.
Well,
I
thank
know
you.
that's right.
I appreciate that.
Mhm.
And I'm going to be honest. A lot of what was told to me early on about Kendall's condition, um, I just sort of rationalized in myself that that was not her end result condition, right?
Mhm.
I accepted it, right? From because it's the medical field telling you what they know to be true scientifically and by cases that they've dealt with from their professional stance. I know what I was dealing with at home though. um and I saw what my baby was doing. I saw how she progressed over time. She progressed. I had her in physical therapy. She was in physical therapy most of her life until adulthood. That's when
Mhm.
a lot of things after high school. A lot of things changed. A lot of things changed for her. And her services, lots.
Mhm.
But the school was a tremendous help to me and my family, as far as getting her occupational therapy, getting her physical therapy while she's in
Mhm.
school. She went to physical therapy 3 times a week at school,
Mhm.
right? And because we kept her active after school, her mobility, she had great mobility, even wearing the AFO braces. Or if she didn't, say we went somewhere and she didn't, we just threw her in the car and I still had to like walk someplace. She was so strong, her mobility, her gait was crouched, but it
Mhm.
wasn't crouched to the limit where she could not mobilize, right? As a
Mhm.
kid, I'm speaking as a kid.
Okay.
um with time, they don't like me to say, her doctors, not her current doctors, they don't like to say that it's a deterioration, because your cerebral palsy is your cerebral palsy, right? um the condition changed drastically over year. I call it deterioration, um because that's what it looks like to me, to where she couldn't even take 5 steps before she would get on the ground and just cry. She was in
Wow.
chronic pain. So
Wow.
going back to what I was speaking about, I think you asked me about the pain, her pain level after
Mhm.
her eye surgeries. She knows pain way differently than we know
Yeah.
pain. that don't
Yeah.
have her conditions. She's in discomfort every day of her life. Most of us are not, right? Because if you don't have those conditions. So her level of pain that she can endure may be a 15. And for me, it would be a 8. And I'm saying, somebody give me everything you have, right? So when she says she's in pain, it's beyond the
Okay.
level
Yeah.
that we
Hmm.
would usually raise our hands and say, hey, I'm in pain. Because she's, walking is just it's taxing.
What is it that you give her when her pain level gets to that unbearable level? What is it that, you don't have to name anything, but is there something that will pretty much take the edge off and help her to feel a little bit better?
In my opinion, this, I only can speak for me and my experiences. Everybody has their own experiences.
Hmm.
And you have to know your loved one, right? She doesn't complain about pain a lot, right? Um, because she's in discomfort every day. No, I don't give her. She doesn't take Flexerol. She doesn't take things like that. A Tylenol is not going to put her out of discomfort.
Okay. Hmm.
Do you know what I mean? She would need
Mm-hmm.
something
Yeah.
like pretty strong just for a day-to-day level of pain. So this is what happens. If she's sitting down, if she's in a position where her joints are not stretched out, where they're in a position that she's locked, I'm going to say locked into, because that's what CP does. It cripples you into your joints into locked positions. That's how I see it.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I don't know the proper medical term for that, but that's what I see. And to keep her as flexible as we can, she's doing physical therapy again. She's been in physical therapy since this time around. I think since September.
Okay.
So she's doing aquatic therapy and physical therapy. They alternate. She goes twice a week, and she has two more weeks, and then she's done. And then it'll probably be a good gap in between there. But her mobility has increased tremendously just from the last couple of months. And when I say her mobility, she walks with a rollator, but she can walk unassisted without anything. But she can't walk long distances, if you know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean. Like
Hmm.
let's say a city block, just to give you a visual. A city block for us, um I don't know, you would walk a city block maybe in, I don't know, 3 or 4 minutes. She couldn't even get a quarter of the way now, without sitting on the ground crying, screaming, having one of her tantrums and just saying, I'm just in pain. Now she can go probably half of a city block, which is huge, with no rollator. You're just guiding her. You're
Okay.
just
Hmm.
you have her
Mm.
arm interlocked with yours, and you're just guiding her. Now, when she slow down and says she's tired, she's reached her max. She's
Mm.
not moving again. She's in crippling pain. If she says I can't go any further, believe her, she can't go any further, right? But I'm telling you that to sort of give you an idea of the caliber of person she is. Her strength is different than ours. She should have stopped long before we
Long
got
time
to
ago.
the
Mhm.
halfway mark
Mm.
of the block. But she pushes herself,
Mm.
right? She pushes herself physically and mentally. Um, so that's and she always has. She always
Wow.
has. But when she stops and says, like, I'm done, like, no, my legs are hurting, or I'm out of breath, or she'll say anything, but that means I'm not going any further. So
Yeah. She's reached her
so yeah.
limit.
Yeah, she
Mhm.
she she knows, she recognizes her limit. She
Now, has
recognizes.
the therapy been helping? I know that that's something, and I think uh Katrisa Gray asked, can it be cured? And I did answer her and said if she was referring to CP, it cannot be cured. I think at that point, the only thing you can do is just make them as comfortable as possible. And I know for me with Morgan, the adaptive tricycle, the adaptive tricycle that I bought
I
her.
love that.
Oh, but she's gotten to the point sometimes when I say it's time to go out on your bike, she go right back in the house and slam the door. But that's her saying she don't want to go. But some of the reasons that I have her to go is for that same reason, to
Mm-hmm.
keep them muscles. That's therapy for her.
It's
That's right
therapy.
at the
That's what
home.
therapy is. Yeah.
Yes, just keep
Yeah.
those muscles moving.
Yeah.
Mm.
And
Okay.
whether she wants to, like, she loves the water, but some days she's like, I don't want to do it. My legs hurt afterwards. The band presses on my legs, you know.
Okay.
She'll give you every reason why she doesn't want to do it, but we have to make the decisions for them that sometimes that are best for them,
Mhm.
right? Intellectually, she doesn't always make the best choices.
Yeah.
About 80% of the time, she's not going to make the best choice for herself,
Mm-hmm.
right? So we
Mm-hmm.
have to have people in her life that can make the best choice for her, but it becomes a struggle because she knows what she wants to do.
Mm-hmm.
She knows whether it's good for her or not. And she knows how to say that. She knows how to say, no, I don't want to do this. Or no, I want to go skydiving. She'll say something like that. Or I want to go jump on the trampoline. She wants to do a lot of the things that she did sighted that is now concern for us with her unsighted. So we
Well, how
have
do
to
did
make
you
the best
combat
choice.
that? How do
yeah.
you do that? How do knowing like I can just be like, come on, Morgan. And I mean, that's a battle within itself too, even though
It
she
is.
can't vocalize it, she's still
Mm-hmm.
speaking by saying, I don't want to do it. How do
Yes,
you get Kendall, someone who is of able mind, to just go along with your choices?
it's a fight every step of the way. It's and I'm going to say this. Uh, the parents, my husband and I, and her siblings, we can get her to do things that the aide can't get her to do
Mm-hmm.
because the aide cannot um handle her the way that we can,
That's
Mhm.
you
right.
know. And I can, and then I use different tactics. I make, like today when she was giving the aide a hard time, I went out there, I said, do you want to write a letter? Now you know who's going to write the letter, but I'll say, think of somebody who you want to write a letter to. And she said Jay, which is her old therapist. And I said, okay, when I come back out the room, I want you to tell me, what do you want to say to Mr. J? And that got her to calm down and stop giving the aide a hard time. But having the right
Good redirection.
caretaker is
Right,
key.
right.
Yeah.
Yes, it is.
And it's not always, I don't even want to say it. I hate to say it that way, because you can have somebody that is skilled in 90% of the areas that you need to take care of your loved one, and they don't have the 10%, which could be a big part that's needed to get everybody through their day
To
in the
de-escalate
most
the
pleasant way.
situation. Mhm.
Yes. So
The
Yeah.
that's how we
behavioral
try.
therapist that we had on last week, she spoke precisely about this,
Yes.
Crystal.
She
And
sure did.
he talked about that. She said, even though she's good, because I asked her, is there somebody that you have ever said, I can't work with them? She said, listen, I can work with anyone. She said, but there are times that I say, this may not be a good fit
Yeah.
for whatever
Right.
the reason, you know.
Right.
It doesn't denounce the fact that you are good at what you do.
Right.
What it's just saying is you can't work
A
well with
different
my child.
personality. Yeah.
Exactly. So I agree with you. I
That is,
think that person, your daughter, my daughter, our children have to
Yes.
connect in some type of way with that person. That's the only way we're going to get them to work with them, because we're not going to always be around.
Yeah.
right.
I may have to work, I may have to go somewhere. So I need you to be able to connect with Morgan where
That's
you can
right.
get her to do things that she may not want to do.
And it goes even deeper than that. That's the biggest part. You want
Mm-hmm.
somebody to connect with your loved one, um in a way where they can grasp their attention, to allow them to lead them, because that's what they're doing.
Yeah.
Is giving up their freedom and them trusting you to make the
Mm.
best decisions, like your parents would, or like your whomever you live with, whomever your caretaker is, because it's not just our kids. We can have our parents, can be suffering from different issues, and we
Mm-hmm.
want somebody there that would give them the support that they need, closest to the way that we would give it, right?
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
And
Absolutely.
that's hard to find,
Yeah.
like I said the last time, which is why a lot of people give up careers.
Yeah.
They either lose a career or choose
Yeah.
Yeah.
to stay with their loved one at home, to make sure that they are taken care of the way that they want them taken care of.
We
Mm-hmm.
need to let our listener, we need to let our audience know that when they see the emojis and the different reactions popping up on the screen, it's because of the new features on the iPad. So when you
Did
do
I do
certain hand move, it's because of the hand movement. So,
that?
Yeah. It's
so
okay. It's a little excitement, I guess. Yeah. I was like, does everybody see it? Because I
yeah,
saw
we just saw fireworks, but it's
We saw
because
Oh, I
you're
fireworks.
saw the fireworks. I
passionate
thought that was
about.
someone
No, you're
hitting a button.
passionate when you speak
Yeah.
about Kendall, so it's okay. We're going to enjoy the
That's
fireworks,
right.
the
Yep. That's
balloons,
right.
the
I'm
thumbs
so
up. We're going to
animated.
enjoy all of that.
I'm really, and I talk with
Bunny.
my hands.
Thanks,
And
Bunny.
it's okay. But I want to know about, I know that you said Kendall kind of struggled and had some, she kind of regressed when she lost her eyesight.
Yes.
Yes.
How did
She
Kendall get
did.
through that
Yeah.
period to getting her to a good place and she
Right.
doesn't have her eyesight?
She didn't create these behaviors. Uh, just came from it came from her losing her vision. Um, but she basically started hitting herself, becoming self-injurious, banging her head against the wall. She started saying things like,
Mm.
my legs don't work right, I want to cut them off. She was saying all of these things due to her loss of sight, is what we later found out. um, and she was going to a public school, and she had a one-on-one with her. So then, instead of taking it out on herself, she started hitting the lady at the school. Her one, we call them one-on-ones.
101. Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. She started hitting her. She would bite her. She would do anything to do whatever she wanted to do. And the one-on-one would say, no, it's not time for PE. We're not going to PE. So she would pick up whatever's close to her and throw it. She was doing all types of stuff.
Did you guys
Um,
know at that time that she was losing her eyesight? Did you guys know?
oh, she had lost. She had. This is when the strips were there. So
Okay.
this one eye was completely blind, and the other one was 40% blind. So now, when the behaviors presented, she probably had about 5% visibility now. Now
Okay.
it's near the end of the
Okay.
visibility.
Okay. Okay.
Because every time they went back in, they would say, okay, it's 2 strips left. Then go back in. Okay, it's completely gone.
Hmm.
And at the end, she was hostile to everybody. She just turned into, it's like her light went completely out. It went completely out. She would stay up for days. She would, like I said, she would just keep going up and down and hyperventilating. So, and they call it anxiety. She
Yeah.
was having, we didn't know what it was. We thought it was her seizure disorder. So I'm taking her back and forth to the pediatrician. They're telling me, take her to the ER. I take her to children's. And that's another thing. When something would flare up with her, I'm driving straight to children's, because I know they have everything there to assess her the proper way.
Yeah.
unless it's life or death. Like if she was having a seizure and it had been 2 minutes, you know, I'm going to call 911 and they're going to, you know, take her to the nearest hospital. And 99.9% of the time, when she would have a seizure that lasted that long, and the EMT would take her to the closest hospital, what do? Transport her to Children's.
Wow. Yeah, I've experienced
99.9% of the time, because if she's seizing for a long time and can't like really come out of it herself, is something else that's triggering the seizure. And usually it was like pneumonia. It would be something else going on in her body that would trigger her to have the seizures.
And she was around 16, 17 at this time?
She was younger then. She was younger then.
That's a lot. That's a lot to undertake at that young age.
It's a lot. It's a lot. She's
so
not
when she lost her sight, it's almost as if she was already hurting, like you said, surgery with the pins and everything in her leg all the way up. And then now you wake up.
No, she hadn't had that yet.
Oh my
goodness.
Yeah.
All right, come on, Claudette. Come on.
Okay, so with the sight, when
Look,
she
let me come in close.
Yeah, when she went to the hospital and they I know you said you met someone that told you to go to Children's. She said, listen, go back to Children's, and they hospitalized her.
Yes.
Yes. Take us through that period.
Okay, so she's still in high school. She's still in like 10th grade, because you know you can go to school until 21. With the IEP and with multiple disabilities, she can stay in school until age 21. So she is probably about 18. Yeah, she was just before she turned 18 and missing so many days from school because of the behaviors. In addition to, well, let me back up just a tad bit. Before the behavior started, I told you she had low visibility in one eye left, right? They didn't know how to teach her. It wasn't a special school that she went to. They didn't know what to do throughout the day. They could not teach her. She was being taught sighted her entire life, right? And I think that this attributed to some of the behaviors that she started exhibiting.
Understandable.
In the school system. You're telling her to learn. You don't know how to teach her properly. So I had to fight the school system. Well, I've always had to fight the school system for her. For them to get the right visual equipment,
Braille, things like that.
Not she wasn't. They tried Braille. She really wasn't a good candidate for Braille.
Okay.
They tried Braille. That didn't work for her, because she was taught sighted her whole life, and because of the intellectual delays, disability that she has. So that became a problem. And then when she went, lost her vision totally, the behaviors really were present. So they had her staying out of school more than in school, right? So I had to fight them to find a school for her, which winded up being in Baltimore. And I live in PG County. I'm in Clinton, Maryland. And at the time we were living in Charles County. And the services were not that great. They just were for us in our situation. They just weren't. Because she had been missing school. Oh, there are the fireworks. Sorry.
Yeah, that's all right.
It's okay.
Because she had been missing school, and I'm reaching out to disability services. The school can't really help me, on what to do with her. We have to work, and she qualified for the waiver program. I put in the information through DDA. They assigned her RIM case management, rare and expensive medical services case management. And they're the ones who assigned me a caseworker, right? A case manager, which help you find the appropriate doctors, right? That can assist you She would schedule her appointments for me. She would recommend different things for me to help Kendall. Because she went into the waiver program, you don't go into the waiver program until you're at least 18. Kendall was just shy of turning 18. So they let her in. I mean, under DDA services. I'm sorry, until you're 18. But she got through in the DDA program because of the waiver program, because of her multiple disabilities. So now her loss of sight is her dominating disability. Before it was the CP. It was the CP. Right? It's amazing how things shift. So she qualified now to go to the Maryland School for the Blind. She's high school level.
Okay.
She went there for 6 months. And the behaviors is what ultimately got her kicked out of there.
Oh.
Their program, she did their in-house residence program, right? And they go to school from Sunday evening, about 3 o'clock, they pick her up. And she would come home Thursday around 2 o'clock, Thursday evening. By Monday, my husband or myself had to go and pick Kendall up. Kendall never stayed there for a week. The longest she ever stayed was 2 days back to back. She wouldn't stay. So they tried Braille. They moved her to a classroom with the autistic kids. And actually, that's where she did better because I don't know, the focus was just a little different. I think it had a lot to do with the teachers in that particular room. That's what I think. They moved her to 3 different classrooms, and the classroom setting that had like 5 autistic students and Kendall in this one classroom. In that classroom, they taught her tactile learning. All of this is new to me. They taught her tactile learning, where they would use objects and apply them to a board. It was a wooden board on her desk, right? Let's say the board was about, let's say 16 inches, right? A little longer than a yardstick. Not a yardstick, a ruler. Not as long as a yardstick, but a little bit longer than a ruler, about 16 inches. And if it's lunchtime, they had a fork in the place of a bent up fork in the place on the board, on the pegboard of when it was lunchtime. So whenever the bell would ding in the classroom, she had like 9 objects on this one board, which was her entire day of what she did in sequence of activity. If the bell dinged again at lunchtime, she knew the next thing. Let's say, I'm just using an example, a toothbrush, which meant go to the bathroom. So she knew it was time to go to the bathroom. Then it would ding again, and it would be something like, let's say a dice with numbers on it, and she would know it's time for math.
Oh, okay.
That's really good. That's good. She learned thrive and learn in that classroom environment. That's really good.
And signing, they would hold her hand and teach her different things.
Sign in your hand.
Even as the teacher is instructing, the one-on-one would do things for her because she couldn't see, to let her know what was happening. It's amazing.
Yeah, they have so many different tactics.
I mean,
yeah.
So Kendall is very smart. She's very, 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 very smart. She's intuitive, but if you're around her for a good amount of time, you know something is a little different. So she still has the intellectual delays, and you could see that if you spend time with her, but you don't know just how high her level is. I don't even know. You know, but they say she's about 5 mentally, a 5-year-old mentally.
So who is Kendall today? Where's Kendall, and what is she doing today?
Today, she is a force to be reckoned with. She is a typical day. She will be, she'll be 27. April 1st. So she's closer to 27
Wow.
than
Kiki,
not.
Kiki said that Kendall is very smart. I think it's Kiki.
She
Uh-huh.
knows.
But I want to know how long it took her to go through, I mean, to get out the hospital from the mental part. We've
Yeah,
never
that's
really,
how I was like,
yeah,
we
I
jumped
want,
it. Okay,
we
I'm
only
sorry.
had 15
We were
minutes.
in
Let's
there.
hurry up
We
and
were
get
in there
come
2
on.
weeks.
Yeah,
We
so
were
real
in there 2
quick,
weeks.
in 2
We were
weeks.
in there for, yeah.
So Claudette, like, because I didn't want to interject Bunny, because I do want to know where Kendall is today. But before you got to that, it's like, I'm trying to imagine myself, let alone Kendall.
Right.
Your body is going through all these changes and life is still going on. I got to go to school. I got to go to a different school. I got to be away from my family. Like, and then we're talking about these behaviors. And I'm just like, was she getting any kind of support, like mentally or anything along the way? Because it's a lot going on. Like, I'm sitting here like, well, hold on. I know we're about to talk about where she is today.
Right.
How do we get
wondering how
through this?
you get.
She's been in therapy since like 16.
Somebody said we need a part 3.
Yeah, because
girl, we are invested, Claudette.
Yeah, it's like, how did she get through that?
Yeah.
I'm not even gonna lie. I'm gonna tell you the truth. When I left part 1, I cried like a baby. I did. Because it was hard for me. I felt your pain, I felt her pain. And I think when we left off, everybody wanted to know, how did she get through that part? Where is she now? Is she happy? Is she thriving? Are you guys happy? I mean, what in the world I want to hear about that.
It's a lot. I'm going to say this part and then I'm going to round it up to where she is today, and then I'll bring her over so everybody can see her. To know her is to love her.
Yeah.
She's something, I'm telling you. But so after that, we brought her back home. She went to another school in Baltimore again. The Maryland School for the Blind was in Baltimore. Brought her back home permanently. They basically kicked my baby out because of her behavior. She was in there cutting up. And ultimately, she went to a behavior school it was the Chimes. And that's where she went there for a year and a half, her last year and a half of school. And it is a behavior school, but they're staffed, they're highly staffed to deal with all types of conditions, all types of behaviors, various types of disabilities. They were absolutely, they were godsend.
Wow.
Yes.
But it was a private school. Yeah. So that was that. And then she came home and she went into the ARC day program. That was very interesting. She went there until COVID hit. And she was home with us because COVID hit. Until we started the AIDS again. So present day Kendall. Oh, and know how she's doing with coping from the eye loss. She's on some medications. She takes a lot of different medications. She has her seizure disorder, so she's taking her seizure meds. She takes her anxiety medicine. She takes her depression medicine. She has a thyroid condition due to taking so much heavy seizure meds. It throws her thyroid levels off. So she takes a thyroid medicine. She takes I'm missing one of the meds, but she's heavily medicated. She gets therapy. She was getting therapy twice a week with a psychiatrist. Yeah, she was getting it with the psychiatrist twice a week and once a month with the psychiatrist and the psychologist twice a week. That's what it is. So now it's once a week. She does counseling virtually with her counselor, and she meets with the psychiatrist for pretty much that's just medication management. And we try to find things to please her, which is going out to eat.
I was about to ask what makes her happy.
Her meaningful, anybody that knows her, she loves to eat. And she loves junk food, McDonald's, and anything that like a 3 or 4 year old would love all of the junk food, she loves it. That's what she loves. And she's not going to eat what she does not like. So it becomes challenging when I have to get her to eat some things for her health.
Someone asked too, did you ever try the holistic route?
For
I
like for
guess, yeah, I guess just period for some of her illnesses. Did they ever try the holistic route?
I'm
And
curious
maybe
to know
they'll,
in what area.
yeah,
Yeah.
Probably
okay, so maybe,
medication. It's probably
yeah, maybe
medications.
but I mean for what specifically is she
Yeah, because
saying?
she
She's
has a
saying for
couple of
meds
different diagnoses.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the
yeah,
person
that's what I'm
said
saying. For
med.
what, for
Yeah,
what specifically though? For what,
Yeah.
seizures or for
Yeah.
CP or for the
yeah.
depression, for the
Yeah.
autism? So she's taking medications for different conditions. Are you
Different
talking
conditions.
about for one condition or for all of the conditions? It's probably gonna be hard to find a holistic medication that can, you know, that work for all of those conditions at one. Oh yeah, that she said everything. That's probably
Everything.
gonna be
Oh
Yeah.
kind of
yeah.
hard.
Oh, the
That's gonna be kind of
doctors,
hard.
when we did that children's hospital stay, we were in there for 10 days. Um, and she saw the different psychiatrists like 3 times a day. They they did not know what, they could not put a label on what this condition was. And they tried to explain, I'm going to try to explain it to you the best way that I can remember. Um, and all of it is attributed to her vision loss. They basically said she lost her mind. She
Yeah.
really did. She like
That
checked out.
broke my heart. It
She
broke my
checked out.
Yeah.
She
heart.
really
I'm
did.
not
Yeah.
even gonna lie. It broke my
Yeah.
heart
Yeah.
because I think it's real. It's she
It's
was
really,
dealing with
really.
real, she
Oh,
was dealing with a real life
oh
situation.
yeah.
And I think when you think about a lot of the special needs individuals and their challenges with different things, and you may be like, well, at least I have this. Well, at least I
Right.
have this. And then when that's stripped from you, it's almost like
Yeah.
check. I don't have that anymore. Check. And
Hmm.
it broke my heart. It broke my heart
Yeah.
just
Yeah.
knowing
It's
because I,
heart-wrenching.
and
Yeah.
as a
Yeah.
parent to sit and see your child just
Mm-hmm.
like you said earlier
Yeah.
deteriorate, it's
Yeah.
Hmm.
And I
heartbreaking.
think that's why we really wanted to have this part two, so
Yeah.
Yeah.
that we can get to the happy out of all it, what's the happy in all of this. And I know we
Yeah.
got a few minutes left. So can we meet Kendall?
I want to meet Kendall. I want to
Yeah.
meet Kendall.
And I'm gonna go get her, but let me just say, I view life a little differently, right? Everybody, not everybody, some people view things one way and others view it another way. I don't shoot for happiness every day. I shoot for us getting through our day the best way that we can without so much sadness. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
Or without so
Yeah.
much trauma or the hard things,
Yeah.
right? And it doesn't have to be happy. It can just be, let's just get through it. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah.
I want to leave
I
this
definitely
thing. I'm going
follow
to go
that.
get
Yeah.
her and encourage other
Absolutely.
people. You're not alone.
You're not
It may
alone.
feel like you're alone most days because it feels like I'm alone a lot of times. And I know I'm not.
You're
But
not.
we're the ones that have to deal with it. We have to deal with it because we love her. It's a love, condition. Can you bring Kendall?
And it's just something too. I used to always say with Morgan, if when she had that foot surgery and it was hard for her, you know, it could have been easy for me to go home and sleep that night. But if she's going through, I'm going through with her.
You
Yeah.
you feel that
I'm
pain?
Absolutely.
not leaving her to go
Yeah,
through by herself. So it's
Yeah.
like
yeah,
I wanted to attach myself to it in some type of way to
Mm-hmm.
experience. And I used to pray and I said, Lord, give me whatever
oh, honestly,
she's
okay.
struggling with. I want to struggle with it,
Yeah. And
because
Morgan
I
needed
don't,
you. You couldn't leave her.
oh
She
my
needed
goodness.
you. Yeah.
I'm gonna just tell you, I just have so much respect for you, Claudette. I just
Yes.
I just
Thank you. Thank
I
you. And
do.
like I said, we're still in the process of living life and getting through life. And hi, I'm gonna turn Kendall.
Absolutely. Kendall,
Kendall, everybody wants to say, hey
Hey,
girl.
hey,
hello.
Kendall.
And that's
Kendall.
Oh
dad
my
right there.
goodness. Hey,
Hey, Kendra. Hi,
Dad.
Hello,
Sit down,
Dad.
Dad. Give us your last 5 minutes. Come on,
For
Dad.
me?
Oh,
Yes,
I'm
come
not, I'm
on,
not,
you. Of
he
course.
I'm
is
You're
not
a
gonna do the
not.
hero.
kids. Her words are
You
better
are
than
a
mine.
hero in our book when I
Yes.
tell you. Kendall, we've heard so much about you. We would love to meet you in person, but we just want to say you are our hero.
Yes.
You our hero. You our hero.
You say hi. Do you know who you're speaking with?
Who are you?
You
I'm
guys
Paula.
introduce yourselves.
I am Paula. I went to school with your mom. We have a podcast called Advocacy. And then I'll let the other ones introduce themselves.
I am Aunt Bonnie. That's who I
I
am.
know that's right.
I'm Aunt Bonnie.
And I am Crystal. Hi, Kendall.
Hi. I think I remember you. Wait, Miss Crystal.
Yes. Well, Kendall, we've heard so much about you. And when I say you are our hero, you are our hero. We just want you to know we just applaud you. We commend you. And guess what?
Yes.
We're just so happy to finally see you. I don't I just want to just say I'm so happy to meet you. I am.
Oh.
Your
Thank
mom
you.
has told us you are so intelligent, you're
Mhm.
smart. So
Mhm.
what can you say about yourself, Kendall? Tell us what would you describe yourself as?
I describe myself as working. I would describe myself as working in the group home.
Working.
Working in
Okay.
the group home.
Okay.
Mhm.
Okay.
Okay. Okay. What makes you happy, Kendall? Tell us that. What makes you happy?
I want to help older people out.
Take your time,
Okay.
baby.
I want to help older people out.
Elderly.
Okay.
I want to help
Elderly
elderly
people.
people out.
I
Okay.
love it.
That's
Okay.
good.
Dad, where are you? You hiding?
Oh, here, right
Kevin, somebody, I guess this is Kiki. She said Kevin is awesome.
Oh,
Kevin?
thank you. Thank you.
Kevin, on my Claudette is on my Facebook page, so I get to see pictures of you guys and your outings and different things.
Oh
And
Lord.
when I saw you guys, I was like, Claudette, you have got to be on my show because I always see the great things that you guys do with Kendall.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and
So,
Kendall likes to spend daddy's money. That's what she enjoys.
oh, oh
so,
yeah.
excuse me. So,
What do you ask for every day, Kendall?
money. So,
Kendall,
if you want, what kind of job do you work for?
Well, we have all types of jobs. Some of us we work for the government. Some of us we just do but our main goal is we have special needs children
yes,
and
that's
we
who I
take
work
care
for,
of
Okay.
Kendall.
them.
I work for
Mhm.
my grandson. He's autistic. That's who I work for.
Mhm.
You work with your son?
Yes.
Mhm.
And I want your mom asked me could you meet my daughter? My daughter is 19. Her name is Morgan and I
Morgan.
can't wait for us to meet. Yeah, I would love to meet you. I would love
What is
for you all to meet Morgan.
Okay.
That's
They-
right.
They live here.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, we live
Would
in
you like
Clark
to meet
County.
Morgan?
Yeah.
All right, all right, as well.
Is Morgan special needs too?
She is. She is.
You'll
She
meet a new
is.
friend.
Is she in a wheelchair?
No, but she has cerebral palsy, but she
Me
walks with
too.
AFOs as well. You guys have a lot in common.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
Yeah, so I can't, and everybody is telling us we have a lot of comments.
This
Everybody is,
is this is her brother.
That's my
Oh, is this the
hey,
This is the
twin brother?
baby.
How you doing?
oh my goodness, we
He's
gonna
the
have the
baby.
family
He's
on.
too.
We gotta have a family on. We gotta have a
So
family
wait
on.
a minute,
Y'all can't.
Claudette, is that the twin brother?
Yes, this is my twin.
That's your twin? Okay.
All
And I'm the
right,
twin. And I'm the twin sister.
all
All
right.
right.
And I'm a
You
little sister to my older sister.
Okay.
guys. Okay.
Oh,
Well, we
He
got
said
so
he
many.
said hey.
We got so many comments on here.
Sorry
Everybody
about
is
that.
saying we have so many comments telling you hello, Kendall. Everybody is saying, hey, Kendall, giving you thumbs up,
Yes.
smiling.
They
Yes.
love Kendi Wendy.
Yeah, I
Yes.
can't. Yes,
Kendall, what
yes,
about
yes.
younger moms she's in the one of our listening audience, Courtney, she said your spirit is so beautiful. All that you're
Aw.
going through and you still want to help others. That's a blessing.
It
yes,
is.
it
You
Thank
is.
you.
hear that?
Yes,
That's a
you're right,
blessing, Kendall, that
Courtney.
you want to help others.
Yes,
It is.
it is.
Kendall has a giving spirit though. That's her, at the core, that's my Kendall. She has a giving spirit and she has that fight. you
I
know.
love it.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah.
And somebody is saying sibling show coming up because we do have sibling shows where we want to have the siblings on there with Kendall. We also want to have a show with hubby and Claudette. We
Oh,
Yeah.
just want, yeah, hubby, if you don't mind, we would love to have, because there's so many different dynamics in a family, and
That's
we
right.
want to showcase it all because
Okay.
again, the ultimate goal is to help other families just
that's
starting
right.
out this journey.
Especially as
You
a
know,
dad, we
yes.
don't always hear that side. We speak with a lot of moms, and dads are
Hmm.
like, "Mom's got it," but we know
Right.
you guys are working just as hard too.
It'd be a lot.
Yes.
Sometimes I used to take it to therapy. I was going like 7 times, and one lady she said, well, where's the mother at? It's like I can't take her to the third. I can't take my daughter to the therapy.
That's
Man,
good.
no,
I applaud you, Dad.
I
That's
Yeah.
really
do.
Thank you.
good.
I do. So
Very
we
good.
listen. We're booked up to June, but we have got to get we got to have a sibling show with the Roberts
Somebody said
family.
part three. Part
Oh
three
my
Oh,
for the
Jesus.
goodness.
Roberts family.
Y'all, we gotta, yeah, we
Because
gotta have a,
Claudette is a great storyteller in the sense of how she's
yes.
letting us know. She has us hanging on our seats, like,
You
Oh,
what
see
Lord.
me?
happened
I
here?
done came close. I'm
Yes.
close again to the screen.
I'm just so animated.
No,
No,
but
It's
you are
you
okay.
good. You're
It's
very good. You
okay.
make us
you're
feel like we were
captivating.
there.
Yes,
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 we were
you
pretty much
are.
following
like
you,
that.
and
It
I
yeah, it
like
makes
that.
a
everyone loves
difference
you
if
guys.
it's Kendall's story, but it's our story. It's our
Yes.
lives. So
Exactly.
yeah.
Yes, my
Exactly.
story.
You say thank you
Kristen
for
said
having
it's
you on.
my
Thank
story.
you.
You said
Well,
it's your
guys,
story.
Yes.
This
I
this
love
is
it.
the
It,
this is
it's
the
her
queen
story.
of the house right
Yes,
here.
it's
That's
her
right.
story.
Queen B. Queen Kendall. I love it. I love it, Kendall. I love it, Kendall. Well, I'm going to listen,
That's a
guys. We
pretty
got
big smile you got, Kendall. Keep
Yes.
on smiling like that. That's a
the
pretty
and
smile.
and
When you
when I
smile like
come
that,
see
you light
you,
up the world.
and when I
Yes.
come see you, Kendall,
She
I'm
said
gonna
yeah.
get the request like what you want as far as snacks. Mom and
Okay.
Dad, I don't even want to hear it. I'm
Okay.
bringing Kendall her favorite snacks.
Oh Jesus.
Oh my
I'm
God.
coming.
What's your
I'm coming
favorite,
to see the
Ken?
queen.
Chipotle.
Chipotle's your favorite? I thought
No.
hot
I
wings.
got you, Kendall. I got you, Kendall.
I
I
like
got
Jesus.
you.
I like Chipotle hot wings, Taco Bell.
Oh
You
my
name it, baby.
goodness.
Oh,
Well,
Yeah,
you know
Paula
what?
got you. Paula got you. She said Taco Bell. She said hot wings.
oh Jesus.
Advocacy gonna hook you up,
Come
okay?
Oh
on.
my
Okay,
We
goodness.
gonna bring you
Auntie.
some gift
What
cards
She
wings?
to
said,
all of
okay,
your
She
favorite
said,
Auntie.
places.
okay, Auntie. Okay, Auntie.
I like boneless wings too.
Oh, listen, I'm gonna bring you some. Advocacy is going to give you
And I
some
like
gift
Mountain
cards.
Dew.
Oh,
Oh
girl,
Some
we're
Jesus.
gonna
Mountain
give it
Dew.
all to you. Parents, step back. I'm gonna bring it
Kendall,
all
send
to
us a
us.
list. Send us a
Okay.
list.
Yes. Well, listen, guys, we
And
gotta
I like
wrap it.
Taco Bell.
Taco
I
Bell.
got you. I'm gonna get you a Taco Bell gift card. I promise you. I'm gonna
Oh my
give
Okay.
you.
God.
Advocacy is going to reward you
Y'all
because we.
spoiling me.
Oh yeah, we gonna
Yes.
spoil
You
you, honey.
deserve to be spoiled.
That's right. That's
That big,
right.
beautiful smile. You deserve
That's
to be
right. You
spoiled.
Oh
deserve
my
it. You
goodness.
deserve it.
Mm-mm.
Well, guys,
Mm-mm.
listen, we gotta wrap this up. But family, I need y'all to look on your calendars because we want a sibling show and we want a show with the parents. We
Yes.
Okay.
ain't finished
Okay.
with the Roberts family yet.
No,
Okay.
You
we're
Yeah.
know.
not.
Sounds good. Sounds good.
Okay.
Well, I want
Yes.
to thank you guys
Thank you.
for
Thank
allowing
you.
us to come on your platform and share a little bit about our journey.
Yes.
Man, this was a
Absolutely.
pleasure. It
We
was a
have enjoyed
pleasure.
every bit of it. I didn't came close. Like I am looking at things differently because of the way that you handled the situation with your
Yes.
daughter. That means that if you can do it, I can do it as
That's
well with
right.
my autistic grandson.
That's
Definitely.
right. You have
That's
to
right.
stay in the fight. But like I said, I had a village even outside of bloodline of people who basically, when I do feel all the way swayed to the side, they smack me back into position.
And we all
Yeah.
need that.
Yeah.
We all need that.
So
We
you
all
need the
need it.
right village.
You do. Even for the
Yeah.
parent and for the child. We need
Yes.
our
Yes.
village too.
Yes.
So you're
Yes.
right. And I mean, when I just tell you for those that are just starting out this journey, this is what advocacy is about. It's about showcasing these parents so you know you can do it
You
too.
can do
It's
it.
empower. We
Absolutely.
build our community to empower each other.
Yes.
We back in the day, They told me that when you had special needs individuals, you kept them behind closed doors and it was a sign of shame. You know what I put in this thing today? I think Terry, when I went to see her son and I got one of his shirts, I said, we as society, we are realizing these kids' full potential.
Yes.
And
Right.
we are, that's what advocates say is about, showcasing these parents. And we're trying to show them that, listen, we don't tuck them behind closed doors and
No.
close doors.
No.
We bring them out because we
That's
want you
right.
to understand and know that they are
That's right.
capable of much more than we give them credit for.
Absolutely.
That's right. That's
Yes.
right.
Well,
That's right.
Kendall, we love you. We
Yes.
love you. We love you. We love you. Claudette, I love you.
Yes.
Hubby, we love you
Yes.
I
guys.
love
And
you
I
too.
just thank you. Mwah, mwah. And we
Oh,
thank you guys for sharing your story with us.
Yes.
We do.
Thank you so
Thank
much.
you. Appreciate it.
Appreciate it.
All right, guys. Well, you all have a great night. Okay.
You too.
All
All
right.
right. Thanks, guys.
All right. Bye.